Well, we anxious to say the least to get back out on the court tomorrow and get back on the winning track. Hopefully, it obviously doesn't get any easier than the last few games we've had against a Georgia Tech team that we were pretty much neck and neck with last year, all the way down to the stretch till maybe the last couple of minutes when we made some big shots. So, we got to get back to doing some things better, obviously. But our attitude was good. We watched a lot of film yesterday before practice, after practice, and just took a look at what we need to do to try to win some games. So hopefully we're making those corrections and making strides, and need it to carry over tomorrow to the court.
Dave, what have the past 2 days been like for you diving in the field trying to figure this thing out? This is a pretty cornerstone moment here.
Yeah, after the games, emotions are running high, and it's easy to maybe to panic, for lack of a better word, and we don't do that, nor have we done that. We're not going to do that. You go home, you watch the film, and as crazy as it sounds, it just comes down to us playing better defense. That's all it is. We haven't played great overall the last couple of games. The other team is playing better, but we've played well enough offensively to win. You score 74, I think it was the other night, and 73 or whatever it was against Florida State at home. That should be enough to win the game. The problem is you can't let them score 80 and 78. So we have to get our defense fixed. It's as simple as that. And we did a lot of stuff yesterday to hopefully work on that and get better in that area. So with that being said, we got to come out tomorrow and be ready to defend, like I know that we're capable of doing.
How's the attitude of the guys?
It was good. They were not, disappointed in the loss, but they were ready to work yesterday. It wasn't a situation where they came in, there was no, the very first drill we did in practice yesterday, they were all talking, vocal, trying to fix what we need to do. So that was good to see. They didn't come out flat and feeling sorry for ourselves or anything like that. So, it's just, like I said the other day after the game, we're just in a little bit of a rut right now, but we just got to work our way out of it. Nobody's going to do it for us. We just have to do it ourselves.
David, defensively, is it just a mindset to want to guard?
That's part of it, but we got into a habit of, for whatever reason, of trying to play a lot of one-on-one defense as opposed to playing team defense. And that's where you can learn from teams like Virginia and the best defensive teams in the country. They protect each other, and we were getting away from helping each other as much, and it wasn't a situation where guys are saying, I don't want to play defense to help this guy. We got away from some fundamental things and some communication things that we needed to fix. So we looked at it pretty hard in film, worked on it pretty hard in practice yesterday, and the mindset in practice was very good to defend. So that was a good first step, but also just doing some things from a philosophical standpoint to where we need to start helping each other out more.
Having guys like Ray, Honest, and now Malik, to be honest, on the back end, are guys too trusting that they're back there?
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think we've been lucky in that regard to where when we've filtered people to our shot blockers, they've done a good job. The problem we're getting into now is we've fouled a lot lately before it even gets to that point. We had a lot of fouls the other night where a guy had taken 2 dribbles from outside the 3, and before he could even get to the rim, we are bailing, what I call bailing them out by just trying to slap at the ball, and all of a sudden you hit their arm and they're in the act of shooting. And that happened about 5 or 6 times the other night. So, it just gets back to being fundamental, just being sound, not gambling, and just trying to help each other. Just if somebody makes a mistake, all right, I got to rotate, somebody's got to rotate for me, and just getting that trust back.
Is there I know you guys just want to score one more point than your opponent, so there may not be a set number, but is there a set number of defensive points you want to give up where you would feel, hey, we had a good defensive game regardless?
No, we don't look at the points. We look at the field goal percentages. And I think Miami was the last game where we held an opponent under 40%. Wake Forest shot a high percentage. Now we turned them over 20 times, which made up for that. But Virginia shot over 50, Florida State shot almost 50, and Syracuse shot 45. So to me, that's the biggest number. Is the field goal percentage needs to be low, but also the free throw attempts. You don't want to foul people. Sometimes you can have a low field goal percentage, but maybe the team shoots 28 free throws. So we got to play very good defense without fouling, and that's something we've gotten away from. But it's something that we're working to get back to.
On his attempted dunk that looked kind of crazy, it looked like Ding came up a little gimpy, and I think you had Ray Fred was looking at him down at the bench. Is he okay, or was his back a little bit?
Yeah, it's just this time of year, just bumps and bruises. It's the same thing with Ray. Ray's been walking around with a boot just because it helps heal while we don't have a week to give these guys off, you know what I
Right.
mean? But he's completely fine. So, you know, it's just, there's going to be soreness, especially when guys play minutes like Dang and Ray and Q and those guys play. But, you know, yeah, they seem to be doing well.
Talked about defense. Do you have any worries or concerns about the offense, the perimeter shooting especially? Or
No, I don't, because like I said, we scored 70, forgive me, I can't remember. We scored 73 or 74 points the other night, and at home, that's more than enough to win. You know, you just can't let the other team score 78. And again, that's not taking anything away from the last 4 teams we've played with the amount of points they've put up on us, because they're good teams, they're talented teams. But, you know, this program has been about defense for a long time now, even when I was a player and an assistant here, and that's why we were playing at a high level early in January and the end of January, is because we were defending, and we just have to get back to that.
I know you say you guys aren't panicking, but how do you raise the urgency without pressing at the same time?
Well, it's the same. We're treating it the same way we have after every time we've lost this year. You have to just come back and win the next game, and you know, we're not looking ahead, we're not looking behind, and these guys are interesting in that regard, and I mean that in a good way. And maybe it's just this generation, they don't dwell on stuff very long, and to me, that's a good thing right now, because you know we've struggled as of late. But like I said, they came out yesterday with a very good approach and mindset in practice. They asked questions in film, and they saw where our weaknesses were, and they wanted to do something about it. Which to me, that's the first big step that you need to try to get better as a team. And these guys have that approach.
is it, you know, it's a cliche to say must win. Is that too much of a stretch for this game? Or?
Well, I think every game's a must win this time of year. I mean, it's February. You know, you want to win every game, but we just have to come out. It's the most important game of the year for us because it's the next one. It's not the most important game because we've lost 3 in a row, or it's nothing like that. It's the most important game because it's the next one. And so, you know, we have to just keep taking this one game at a time, and you know, hopefully tomorrow's a good step in that direction.
Do you think you might incorporate more zone defense going forward just because of the struggles in the one-on-one situations? Or
Yeah, I mean, it's something we're going to have to look at. We've played, I would say if at this point in the year we probably haven't played as much zone as I thought we would have, but a lot of that is matchup based too. You know, sometimes with teams, you know, like Virginia, for example, or Virginia Tech, those are teams that are very, very difficult to zone because of their personnel, the way they play on offense. So a lot of it's just offensive based. And you know, at Miami, for example, we played almost strictly man. We played very well defensively. You know, each game is just so unique, but you know, it's just man zone. It doesn't matter what we're playing. We got to help each other. It's got to be team defense, and that's been our big thing the last 36 hours.
Dave, just to clarify, you said that Dang and Ray are both doing pretty well now. Do you still expect both of them to play tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, as far as right now, you know, I'm battling a cold, but that's at the extent of the knock on wood, the problems we're having. So, you know, it's a long season. It's been a long stretch for us now. We haven't had a day off since after the Wake Forest game. So, you know, it's been a tough stretch. But yeah, our guys are doing well.
With Quentin, when he's struggling with his shooting, have you seen it maybe affect his game other ways a little more this year than maybe in the past?
I don't think so. You know, Q's going to be fine. You know, I've been asked that a couple of times over the last few days, and you know, he had a rough game the other night. Our team had a rough game, and he's going to be fine. Yeah, I don't worry about him. He knows what to do. He's been in this before. He's been every team, maybe with the exception of the top 3 this year. Every team, every player in the country has gone through a stretch at some point this year where maybe they're struggling, and the only thing you can do is work your way out of it. And Q knows that. His approach is good. His attitude's good, and you know, at the end of the day, he just wants to win, and he knows that he's got to play well for us to win, but you know, he's going to be fine. He's not a kid that I'm worried about.
Talk about Georgia Tech and what Josh has done with this group. I mean, Okogie can score, but Lammers looks like he's even more improved than he was last year.
Yeah, you know, they really only lost one player from their rotation last year, and they've got everybody back. Okogie's actually playing very well. Lammers, one of the best shot blockers and defensive players in the league, and you know, their unique style, their man-to-man offense is not easy to prepare for. There's a lot of moving, cutting, reads, and that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's a more difficult prep than your normal game. And you know, they've got the young point guard Alvarado. Obviously, has played well for them, shot the ball well. So, you know, they're talented, and they've played everybody close, just like every team in this league have. They've played everybody close, and you know, they've got some really good wins too. And you know, that game last year was so strange because that was the game where we had to fight on the morning of for the noon game and all that, so it was a different game. But you know, like I said, it was neck and neck until about the last couple of minutes when we made some big shots to open the score. But You know, they're a very, very good team. Josh has done an amazing job coaching them, and they've got a lot of talent. So, just like I said all year long, it doesn't get any easier with the next game.